probably what I would do. And that's a C major 7 grip shape with a 5th on top. Now the next chord is A minor. Oh, you could have done it here too, by the way. See, you know that the 5th is on top. Now the next chord is A minor 7 with a 3rd on top. We want it lower. This is just kind of a cowboy shape. Here's A minor triad. Here's A minor 7. Okay. A little plain to me. Again, I'm going to add that 9 in to create a little bit more of a darker mood. How do we do that? We take your triad, take the octave, the 8, slide it up to the 9. Now refinger. A little bit of a stretch here. I love that though. So now we have this so far. Now we got to keep piecing it back. This case, I chose to do this cool, full, very full E minor 11 chord. I even put the low E on there to really make it big. And then A7, I'm going to turn it like this, A with a diminish. And that is now my A section. Now I can at least practice it. I just kind of mapped out some shapes that I think are nice for this. Using pretty stock shapes for the most part, not being too ultra creative, which would be the next step. But now we have this. 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. And again. I chose a different A minor there, a little crunch. What do we call that? A minor add 9. Has a very dark, and that's really easy. Well, I shouldn't say easy. If this is one of my little grab shapes. I just take A. Gosh, you should check out Bill Evans' version. Really beautiful song, but this is just an example. A key of C melody, 3/4 time, jazz waltz. Listen to the melody here. And that's the idea, you know, harmonize again. But that's a skill too. I want you guys to be able to do is to learn the melody and then say, oh, what shapes can I put? And that's generally what I like melody. That's the A section. So the melody is very diatonic, meaning it's in the key of C. So all that stuff that we just play for you, an example, it's with a trio. John Abercrombie trio with Mark Johnson on bass and Peter Erskine on drums on the ECM label back in the 80s. Beautiful version of it. But they pedal tone it. The bass just does this. And there's this beautiful... And then you can get into the waltz feel. I'm going to start off with this. I'm going to show you like, hey, what am I thinking when I see this chart? D minor 7 is the first chord. The melody note is a G. And I know, you know, not all of you may be a fast note reader, so I'm going to tell you what note it is. It's a G. So here's D minor, here's D in the bass, and here's G. Hey, just do that. But if you want to add in the F note here, that will help create more of a minor-y feel, okay? So I'm going D, F, G. And because I'm playing that G, I mean, there's more room. Check it out. I want to explore. I could go D, F, A, G. Ooh. But that's a lot of work. That's a triad with a G. That would kind of be a D minor add 4. Not truly a D minor 11 because there's no 7. So it cannot be called an 11 technically. But, you know, these days people might say D minor 11 because it has a G. But it's really an add 4 chord, okay? But that's too much work. I'm just going to do this and create that texture. D, F, and G. Now I'm just going to try to grab as many stock chords, grip shapes. G7 here. Why? Because that note is G in the top voice, and then it also has the next note, F, right here. So I'm examining the melody. So I'm doing my stock G7 here. And now I can bust into C major 7 here, the grip shape, because the third's in the melody. And then there's a C note. There's no C in this shape as far as not in the bass, so I'm going to grab it single note. And it's just a quick note anyways, to the open G. And now it says F major 7. Well, I think I'm going to do something like this. Ooh, I like that. It's kind of more... That's like an add 9. But it's not major, it's not minor, because there's no third. But hey, that's okay. We're getting a little bit more out there today, a little bit more, ethereal. So we have this. Oh, I didn't even have to do that single. I could do this. Now, the B minor 7 flat 5. Standard grip shape with the D on top. Hey, that's what we want. We want the D on top. D, E, F, right up the scale. Well, I'm going to choose to do the little 6s that we just practiced. See, I went like this. Just like key of C. So I'm going like this. And then I'm going to go to that same dominant shape we used for G7 on E7, where the melody has the root on top, and then the D note, flat 7. Now an A minor 7 with the 5th on top. The standard thing to do would be to do this. So I'll do that for now. And then E flat with the G, the 3rd. I think I'm going to do this. I could just do this. Like this. But I got a G twice in here. I don't want the G twice. That's a doubling. I could do this. Or I might even add the F in. Ooh, I like that. A little bit more crunchy there. E flat, F, G. That's tritone substitution, by the way, for A. And then back to the D minor. But so far now we have this. 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. I like that crunch, that F. I'll keep it. This is, again, just kind of trying out some different ideas. Now we're going to the D minor 7. And the same little walk up. But now it's on D minor, not B minor 7 flat 5. Which, by the way, is just D minor 6. It's almost the same stuff, just to the relative major now, C major. So I'm going to do the same 6s. Why not? And then, so it's this. The only thing is I hit the D. I kind of played the chord on the downbeat. And I got those 6s down. G13, because the E's in the melody. And I'm just going to grab the D note as a single note. And then now it says E minor 7. I'm just going to use this shape because I know that this has the root on top. And then maybe this E minor 7. 2 E minor 7 shapes. And then now the A minor 7 with the 3rd on top. I'm going to go to this shape. I could have just also done this. And, it's high up there. You might just do 3 notes. So you got this. 3-note shapes are just fine for chord melody. And then the root, not going to give it a chord. And then I'm focusing more on the next note, the G note of a D minor 7. Well, here's D minor 7 stock grip shape. We don't want the A, we want the G, so that's the 11. So notice it's like the beginning, but now it really is an 11. Why? D minor 11, because we have the C in there. I love this shape, and then this is great for the example, because then you got the F right here. Okay, 2 notes with one shape. Always try to do that when you can. If you don't have to move around, don't. And then G13, because that's an E. And then the D note again by itself, just like before. And then E minor 7, I'm going to go up to here. This case, I'm chose to do this cool, full, very full E minor 11 chord. I even put the low E on there to really make it big. And then A7, I'm going to turn it like this, A with a diminish. And that is now my A section. Now I can at least practice it. I just kind of mapped out some shapes that I think are nice for this. Using pretty stock shapes for the most part, not being too ultra creative, which would be the next step. But now we have this. 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. Oh, I'm gonna practice that a little bit more. 11. 2, 3. And again. I chose a different A minor there, a little crunch. What do we call that? A minor add 9. Very dark, and that's really easy. Well, I shouldn't say easy. If this is one of my little grab shapes. I just take A minor, like the cliche, but I go to the 9. It creates a nice moody texture. 13. Second ending, C major 6. That sounds a little bit boring to me. I might make it C major 7. Played that voicing? Let me show it to you. You'll say no, probably, I don't know, maybe you'll say no, but let me show it to you this way. Here's C6, here's C7, here's C major 7. I like that. I think it's very kind of haunting for a major chord. And then now here's a B section. Ready for this? We got the D in the melody on a D7 chord. That's, to me, the root. So I do this shape. I gave a little waltz feel here. And then the A note to the G is the 9. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to make it a 13. Why not? This. I'll put the bass in here. So here's G13. You can borrow with your pinky and get the 9. G13, G7, G13, then borrow the pinky, G9. That's pretty full voicing. If you want to, you might say, hey, I could do the G9 here. Then do that. That would be just fine, your typical G9 shape. So listen to it both ways. Or this way. That's sweet too. I can go either way. This is fuller because of the low G, and you don't have to leave the position. So that's probably what I would do. And that's a C major 7 grip shape with a 5th on top. Now the next chord is A minor. Oh, you could have done it here too, by the way. See, you know that the 5th is on top. Now the next chord is A minor 7 with a 3rd on top. We want it lower. This is just kind of a cowboy shape. Here's A minor triad. Here's A minor 7. Okay. Playing to me. Again, I'm going to add that 9 in to create a little bit more of a darker mood. How do we do that? We take your triad, take the octave, the 8, slide it up to the 9. Now refinger. A little bit of a stretch here. I love that though. So now we have this so far. Now we got to keep piecing it back.